So I just push play or just push record because there's something just fascinating. The question of where is unique self? When is unique self? Who is unique self? Unique self, of course, being this vision of the future human which is currently available right now. There's a way in which unique self is always ever present, because every single person is, whether they realize it or not, a unique expression of the love intelligence, the field of consciousness, if you will, the field of intimacy and desire, as Dr. Mark likes to say, that we're each unique expressions right now. There's no practice needed, no rigorous training needed. It's just who you are. It's just who I am. And so there's this field of intimacy where everything is connected to everything else. Everything is woven into the fabric of reality. And there's actually no such thing as a thing separate from everything else. And that includes you and me right now. Sometimes when we practice, the practice depends on how we move into practice. If we practice, let's say, meditating so rigorously, we have to practice, we may end up inadvertently reinforcing this experience of separation, of egoic contraction, of never enough, of feeling disconnected, dissociated from the field of value, from the field of intimacy and desire. And if we don't practice, don't get me wrong, practice is important, but it's how we approach practice. Because right now, for example, is the ego present? Absolutely. Well, not absolutely, it's relatively. The ego is present. The ego is the parts of me that are feeling contracted in a way that disconnects from the field of value. And it manifests through, the most obvious way it manifests is through our false self patterns. If right now we have a voice inside of us that says, I'm not good enough, I'm not loved, I'm not desired, I'm not something enough, or I'm not safe. Right? And for me, there's the tendency is something like I don't belong, and also something like I'm not good enough. Those are two voices that are regularly showing up to this theater, which is David. And so there's a voice inside that says, man, I'm not doing enough. I need to work harder. I need to do this and that. I'm not good enough at finances. I'm not good enough at being in community. I'm not good enough at Aikido. I'm not good enough at whatever. But what happens is that we interpret it as I'm not good enough. Period. And let's just look at that. Is that really true? Good enough for what? If we really pay attention to that voice, and if we just allow ourselves to breathe and bring compassion and presence to that voice, and an embodied location, if you will, so locating where that voice resides in the body, and I just bring curiosity and presence, and I say, hey, I'm feeling a little contracted right now. What do you need? Okay. So you need to feel financially secure, or you need to feel... What else do you need? You need to feel focused. Okay. Or I need to feel accomplished, productive. Okay, listened, received. And just honoring and acknowledging that voice without letting it be the only voice that there is. Because if we continue to bring presence and compassion to that contraction, I can notice that there's a softening in the contraction. That the energy that was in my chest moves down into my belly. And then my whole body actually vibrates. My whole body vibrates. And so I just look at my being in the world and I feel, I am woven into the fabric of reality. I am actually a unique expression, a unique perspective of reality. It's reality having a unique experience as me, a unique experience of touch, a unique experience of taste. I just had lunch. A unique feeling of desire, a unique set of allurements. So, for example, I'm allured, genuinely allured to this enlightenment teaching, this awakening teaching. And I realize there's noise next door that could probably be distracting, and so the separate self might jump in and say, I can't. It's distracting. And just bringing awareness and compassion and saying, oh, okay, there you are. And refocus. So I'm very allured to this teaching and this realization, which is always available. And practice is important because you're developing a muscle. And yet, giving up the practice and just claiming it as real, right now, right here, is also a practice, if you will. And so when I'm settling into my unique set of desires, I can feel into what do I deeply desire. Okay, I'm still hungry, there's a desire for food. I'm a little bit cold, there's a desire for warmth. What's my deepest heart's desire? Wow, I feel it. I tap into it. My deepest heart's desire is to participate in evolution and to give my greatest gifts to catalyze transformation of the human species, wherever I am, in whatever circle I am. I feel allured to it. I feel like my heart is broken for the unseen victims of this world, the people that are suffering unnecessarily. The famine that is currently going on in Sudan and in Gaza, people starving, breaks my heart. And it's a little bit quieter in here. And because we're connected to the field, we feel the pain. When we listen to the news, when we listen to the news, our hearts break. Our heart's broken for the millions of people that are suffering and actually don't have enough food today. It breaks my heart. And if I were to collapse in that breaking of the heart, if I were to collapse into my ego, I would either feel like, I have to neurotically donate all my money to whatever charity, and I have to, nothing can be okay right now. I'm distraught and I can't even function in the world. Or, on the other hand, I'll just avoid it at all costs, avoid feeling that pain and discomfort, and just go back to my day-to-day and be in my little bliss, joy of my little bubble that feels comfortable. But if we're able to take in the pain of the world and let it break our hearts open, let it break our hearts open to the love that it wants to embrace every child, man, woman, and child who's suffering, And that is giving me particular access to a set of capacities, a set of gifts, and a set of desires to respond in my unique circle of influence. And if I just listen, discern, and actually take my steps to respond from that place, from the unique self-realization, it may give me energy that's an ecstatic urgency, not a neurotic urgency, not like I'm freaking out all the time, but rather I have an ecstatic urgency, as Dr. Marc often states, to make things happen in the world. I want to make an impact. I don't want to waste my time. I want to actually be giving the greatest gifts to the greatest needs in the world, in my world. So it's something to consider, that the unique self is not out there. It's not something you have to get. It's something that is currently, right now. It's your unique expression in the world, your unique perspective, your unique quality of being that's woven into the fabric of all of reality. It's not separate. Now you might be saying, well, I can't feel that right now. Well, that probably means there's some work to do. There's some practice to do. There's some receptivity to cultivate. Or there's certain needs that the ego has that until those needs are met, it will perpetually contract and restrict you and restrain you. And it's doing the best it can. You just got to step into the driver's seat and be paying attention and offering compassionate presence to whatever arises. And that's how we participate in the evolution of love. Blessings.